are a
I am a Capricorn.
Capricorn. So if anybody that is not a Taurus, Virgo, Scorpio, or Pisces need not apply.
Well, see, I don't want to limit myself.
Oh, now see there.
That would be very childish, wouldn't it not?
No, but don't say that, because that means people that believe that would be being childish. So we don't want to throw that out there today.
Well, okay. What I would say is, okay, if you want to take that list to heart, and more power to you, and I wish you the best with that, and I'm sure it'd be great. But what I will say is, you don't want to alienate anyone else, because life is not just about the romantic side, is it? Remember, now see, when we say relationships, everyone's hooked on the romantic side because you lot are just crazy. But what we need to remember is that relationships come in all forms in this life, and that could be a business relationship that could be fantastic for you.
But those that are outside of that as a business relationship work too.
Okay, take us two then. You're going to meet people that are not of the star sign list,
right? That
you may get on with in business,
right? That's what I was saying. I'm agreeing with you.
So if you're just going to limit everyone, just chop them off at the knees, I mean, hello. So all you're going to be surrounded by is just the people that you're supposed to get along with. But what if you ain't getting on? Then you ain't going to have no one left. Because you've got, everyone gets on everyone else's nerves at some point or other, innit?
Yeah.
Regardless of star sign.
Mm-hmm. And that's in relationships, i.e., I'm sure my wife, she gets on my, that was a slip. I'm sure I get on her nerves. Okay? That's what I meant to say. So don't nobody go out there and if she hears this podcast and I get a pan in the back of my head. But I was trying to say, I'm sure I get on her nerves.
Okay, just watch out tonight. All I'm going to say is, you can't take that back. No, you can't.
I can edit it out of the show, though. Yeah, there's going to be a blank spot in the show.
Oh, my God. Okay, people. This is crazy. I want to know what people think about this. Okay, link 5, K-Rose. Because you guys out there, you know I can be mischievous already. And I just wanted to know, would anyone agree with this, even if they are not a Capricorn? Because it says things that Capricorns are tired of hearing. Because apparently, K-Rose, right? Apparently, my star sign is the star sign to go to for just about everything. Remember I told you that people always come to me? I get little old ladies come and chat to me at the bus stop, right? I get kids coming up to me. I get it. And I'm talking about strangers. I ain't even talking about anyone I know. I'm talking about strangers. And they just start talking. And then I realise they're talking to me. And I'm like, oh, okay. You're in the mood to chat today. That's fine. Okay, let's do it. And so apparently other signs seek my star sign out for expertise, patience, and practicality. Now, I want to know what you guys think out there. Let us know at Ask Avani Show, because I'm curious, But apparently, we have our limits too, So...
I think you're changing you're causing me to lean toward something is with this astrology thing, because your sign is describing the Avani that I know.
Right.
And it's not that you're making up stuff or that, she says she's like this. No, you really are like that.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes you think, no, that is spot on. I do that, or I'm like that. I have that characteristic. And I see people, you ain't going to tell me I'm lying, because I have the thing here. This is why I love to do the show in this way, because I can share. It's Share Saturday. And you guys know, I don't be telling pookies like that. Lies. So here you go.
Well, what was that? You don't tell pokies?
Pokies.
Spell that so I can put this into
Porkies. Porkies.
Porkies.
Pies. I don't tell no porcupines. I don't tell no lies. This crazy chick is back.
When you can regurgitate some things from your mind that I have never heard. Okay. Okay.
I don't.
Porkies. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, dear. Well, you guys know. You don't know I'm crazy anyway, so don't worry about it. That's why y'all love me.
Yeah, they do. They love them some you.
Okay, but let's do this because I know we're going to go to break shortly. But let's do this. See, you know I'm so cheeky, right? Playing devil's advocate, and it's just because we can. Okay, I want to know if you guys out there would ever try this. Okay, link 6 K-Rose. How to argue that astrology is fake? Because I know people out there are listening and they're thinking this chick is crazy ass, and she's talking a whole lot of. That don't even, none of it don't work. Astrology is a load of rubbish, blah, 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 fill in the blanks. Okay, well, I want to know, people, what say you? Now, this is interesting. It says here, I used to surrounded by people who make big life decisions based on what their horoscope tells them to do. Now, this is interesting. The CKOs, do you know anyone who's ever said, okay, now my stars have said that, I should not move. I should not leave my job, even though I hate it, and I'm on the verge of killing my manager or my boss. but the stars have said, hang in there. But imagine if you hate something and you're ready to leave. What are you going to do? Listen to your star sign or go to a psychic? See, that's the thing. A psychic. I've never been to a psychic. I really would like to go to a psychic and see what they tell me. I'd be very fascinated to know. Because remember, if you've never been to somebody and they start telling you things that only you would know, and remember, you've never met that person before, and they don't know anyone that you know, for example. So how are they able to tell? Sometimes it's really crazy when I hear someone say, oh my God, they were so accurate and they told me some things that I hadn't sort of thought about or I'd known and I hadn't told anyone else. And then you think, okay, that's creepy, because they've never met you before. They don't know anyone who would know that. And I'm a person, I don't tell nobody nothing. So really and truly, if they could tell me something that I know I haven't even put out in the ether, I haven't even written down,
Well, and we're going to talk about this, I'm sure, in the show, but there are people who are, I don't want to call them con artists as much as I'd like to call them.
Did.
Yeah, that's I know. But hey, there are some people who can fake it. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
And they can ask a series of questions and look at body language and make general statements and let you guide them to a point to where it looks like they are actually reading your mind or...
Because I got a poker face. So you read me, I'll be looking at you, and I ain't giving you nothing, okay? So I want you to tell me. If you're a psychic and you say you're real, tell me. I ain't going to say nothing. I'm not going to nod. I'm not going to shake my head. I'm not going to widen my eyes. I'm not going to fidget. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm just going to sit there, okay? And see, another thing I don't like is when you hear them, I'm getting a, and they're looking at you. I'm getting a B, I'm getting a B, and I'm getting a B. Yes. You got somebody with a B coming into your life.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, bye-bye. How much people in the world wouldn't name B? Their name begins with B. Please.
Or they go down the alphabet. B, F,
I'm getting
N.
No. If you can tell me something specific, like, okay, so, Brian is standing behind you and he told me to tell you X, Y, and Z. Okay, well, I might be like, oh, you can actually see Brian?
But they never do it like that. You know they don't.
Okay, there's a lady over here, Sally Morgan, I think her name is. I have to find the woman. But she has a very successful show, K-Rose. And she's on the TV all the time. And she basically is like, oh my God, why? She'll start talking. And then she'll say, okay, it's over here, and she'll start mentioning names, full names. Like I've got John, and he's standing here with David, and they want to tell someone blah blah blah, and I'm getting the initials T, and I'm getting this, and they've just passed over, and they've got their son with them, and she really goes into detail. This is why people believe her, because she's very detailed. So if you can be that detailed. And say, oh, he's standing right next to you. I think that might freak me out a bit. But
yeah, exactly, I agree with you.
Yeah, that might freak me out a bit. But if you know that person has died, then she's not lying, is she? Because she's saying, oh no, they're coming through to me from the other side, as they call it sometimes, and they're telling me this and they're telling me that. So, I mean, is there anyone out there? I'm curious. Let us know at Ask Avani Show. Is there anybody out there who has ever been to a psychic who has been really helpful, or who has told them things which they were like, nah, this person is real, because they told me things that, no one else knew, or, they knew something that I didn't tell them beforehand. I never mentioned it in a letter or any correspondence to them before I went to the reading, and nobody else could have done that. So, how do you know? Because it says on here that, astrology, as we know, it is fun, but some people do go a bit overboard with it because, like you say, choosing a career and a spouse and a city to live in, all on the strength of what your astrology says. I don't know. What do you think?
That's much for me. I don't think if you take it to those levels, you're putting yourself in, you're putting yourself in a bad position. Let me just put it like that. I think if you go through, just like with anything, if you take something with a grain of salt, and because I really do believe there are other people that don't believe that there could ever be any other beings in this galaxy or in this universe. And I don't believe that. I just do not believe we are the only form of life in a galaxy full of millions of stars and all that. I just don't believe that. So I think that there may be some people who can plug into things I can't plug into in my mind. I just believe that. You have to show with Kenneth and the things that he talked about. I wish people go back and listen to the show that we had with the gentleman that talked about basically thinking things, and people.
Ken Elliott, yeah.
I believe that to great extents, because I think there are some people that can do some things that I can't. Period.
Right.
I just believe that. Astrology, it's a lot behind it. Has it always, was it just made up? I don't. I think there's some things. Some of it's real.
It's another ruse to just get people to spend money.
Yeah, but I think some of it is real. I do.
Right. Well, I mean, it says on here, pretend you're another star sign around someone who apparently knows a good deal about astrology and see what happens. See if they can guess that you're faking. Supposedly. Number 2, read the daily or weekly horoscope. Remember, I mentioned this earlier. Compare other star signs to yours. Let's see how. Well, we already know it's general because it's not meant to be for you specifically. So, that I think that sort of speaks for itself. And it's saying 3, notice the generalizations among those who practice or believe in astrology. Well, again, because I'm sure that certain things are, not just inherent to one star sign. So, again, I don't know, man. I mean, it says know a little bit about sun sign astrology. Who's got time to delve into that?
I agree with you 100%. It's like we don't have time.
No, I mean, there's things that you might say, yeah, I'm going to look at that, and I might do a bit of research into that, and I might say, yeah, I agree with this, but I'm not going to take the whole thing to such an extreme that I'm going to use it to dictate every decision, especially when it comes to big decisions like changing my career or, giving up my job and telling the boss to go and stick it. These things that could be a bit dangerous for you, especially for your finances.
Yeah, you got to plan. If you're going to do something like that, you got to have some planning behind it.
Yeah, don't just jack in your job and just, hightail it out. Ooh, that might come back to bite you. But people, I want to know what you guys think. So, this will be a good one. Take this to break, K-Rose. How do I interest a Scorpio when I'm a Sagittarius and he doesn't seem interested in me and I want to get to know him, but I lose my words every time I talk to him? Now, I have something here for you, K-Rose. Before we go to break, I'm going to share it with you. I want you to tell me what you think. Because I'm crazy with the picture quotes. And I found this, people. And I wanted to know what K Rose thinks, because it basically says how to attract the star signs. And it's interesting. Here we go. I'm sending this to you now. Because on my one, K Rose, it says don't do the small talk. Because we have been able with the small talking. You guys need to know. Apparently, it says a Scorpio liked you to be hella tall and different. But for a Sagittarius, apparently you're supposed to be intense. Okay, people, let us know what you think about that at Ask Avani Show, because we are going to take a short break. And we will be right back on the other side after this.